And welcome to another focusIR Year in Review interview. Today it's the turn of PYX Resources. It's the third largest publicly listed premium zircon producer with key assets at Mandiri and Tisma, which are large-scale near-surface open-pit deposits in Indonesia. To discuss what the company achieved in 2024 and what the objectives are for the coming year, I'm joined by Oliver Hasler, who's the Chief Executive and Chairman. So, Oliver, 2024, quick wrap-up. Did you achieve what you wanted to in terms of production?
Not really. It ended up being a disappointing year after a very strong first half. We were very happy with our EBITDA results. It was our first positive EBITDA after 6 months of the year. And we were very happy with that result since we were only in the fourth year of production since our IPO, already in positive numbers. So that was great. But then, we're mining in the middle of the jungle of Borneo. We had some problems with rain and a bridge collapsing. And a result of that, we had to slow down our production, which will not allow us to have the same EBITDA and growth as we have in the first half. These things happen. We have had very lucky 4 years where we really didn't have any issues. These issues will be fixed over, I hope, in the short term, and then we will continue with the growth we have shown so far.
Okay, and obviously it's safety first as well with these unexpected events. But what about relationships with local administration and stakeholders? Are they still tight?
Well, we have had a good relation. Last year we announced that we had obtained the ilmenite license at the beginning of the year. In the second half, we were awarded the license to export rutile. So we exported all of most of our inventory of ilmenite and rutile as we had projected since the beginning of the year. So those were part of the successes. Now we are not only a premium zircon miner, we are a full mineral sands miner with exports of premium zircon, rutile, and ilmenite. So that was very positive, and that was part of our strategic goals for the last 4 years.
So let me drill down into offtake partnerships, those that are buying your products. Do you see those relationships being maintained or even strengthened?
Those relationships, since the beginning, we had customers all over the world. And I think that was a good choice because based on geopolitics, you know that some areas of the world are doing less good as others. So when we started in 2020, we were selling mainly into Europe. Then we shifted to China. Then we went back to Latin America and Europe. Today, we're selling mainly into China and India as the West has not been that strong. So we have the knowledge of the world market, and we shift our sales according to geopolitics and social economic situation in the world.
And as you referenced, you made your first positive EBITDA during the half year, first positive EBITDA since listing in February 2020. Is this likely to be the case from now on?
We'll have to see. I mean, we're in the middle of the audit, so I'm not allowed to project for the end of this year, but surely we know the formula. We have been able to do it with our actual operations. So we have proven we have the capacity and we have the markets to obtain it. So obviously that is the objective of the company, is like it has always been: grow volumes, be profitable, and reduce our production costs. Strategically was to sell our byproducts, rutile and ilmenite, which we have done. We sold the stockpile we had been accumulating over the years. So we are on track on our strategy and on our operational objectives.
And in terms of reducing the cash cost of production, are further reductions possible?
Oh, there's huge ones. I mean, at the end of the day, we tested our mine field unit. We have put in equipment on place just to see if it's the right one. So now, if we find the right investors, we will take it to the next step and change from third-party contract miners to mine ourselves. So that's surely one of the strongest projects we have going forward.
And in terms of going forward, I know that you're not allowed to tell me everything, but what are the main investments for the future that you're allowed to talk to us about?
I mean, we will continue, at least operationally, to push for growth of volume. Investment-wise, the next big investments are two, which is to shift from third-party contract miners to our own mining. That would be on Mandiri. And then the huge investment would be to start doing exactly the same thing we did on Mandiri, to do it on Tisma.
And from a macro perspective, what do you anticipate will be the trajectory for the price of zircon?
Right now, prices are at the low. After peaking in 2021 and 22 and being pretty much stable, prices have reduced, mainly because of the world situation and the Chinese construction market being down. Long term, all the projections of the experts still show that there will be a lack of zircon in the market. In the short term, we have to wait for the world economies, the West and China, to come back and their economies to grow. Within there will be a lack of zircon. Long term, nothing has changed in our view.
Okay, so just a couple more questions, if you don't mind, Oliver. What about plans to acquire additional mineral sands projects in Indonesia, whilst also focusing on organic growth and increasing production capacity?
I've always believed in focus, and I've mentioned this before. The first priority is to explode Mandiri and to have a positive operation. And we're constantly looking at other opportunities. So before we look at worldwide expansion, we will look at opportunities where we feel comfortable. We feel comfortable in Kalimantan. So we're looking at other opportunities. And today we find a good opportunity, something that we think will add value to shareholders. We will present it to the shareholders and continue with our strategy as we have done so far.
And what's the message for shareholders? To summarise, what do you want to achieve in 2025?
First, the message is at the beginning of the year to thank them for their support. We have had very strong shareholder support that believe in the company and in us. So to continue, I would appreciate that continuous support, and we will continue with the focus as we have had so far. So happy New Year to everyone.
Many thanks and happy New Year to you too, Oliver Hasler, Chief Executive and Chairman of PYX Resources. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Sarah.